Okay, so today this is going to be a series of me swapping the turbo on my 240 right here, which is SR20 DET swapped, but everything is stock. I'm doing an upgraded turbo, which is a GTX2860 dual ball bearing. I'm also doing injectors and the Z32 Maf and getting it tuned, so hopefully I can push a little more power than it's doing right now. Right now it's maybe like 200 horsepower. It's pretty underwhelming, and I'd like to get at least another 100 out of it and just keep it relatively reliable. So today will be that. I'm not going to do it step by step, but more of just the process. Alright, so it took a little while, but I have everything loose. Kind of see that all the bolts came off relatively easily, just using hand tools, obviously. Right now I'm going to disconnect the downpipe, and then I'll be able to pull this out a little bit more, this whole turbo assembly, and take off the water lines and the oil lines and pull this thing out and see what I'm working with. Alright, so I've got the turbo in with the same manifold that I was using. I had to get a little creative with the wastegate. I drilled a different hole into this bracket so I could mount it in the right orientation. I've got the C-clip on there, and I tested it with my compressor and it opens and closes, so I think that's fine. I've got to put back this coolant hose probably tomorrow and tighten all the bolts to the exhaust manifold and put the exhaust back on the downpipe, and I'm pretty much good to go on the turbo install, other than putting the intercooler piping from there back to the turbo and getting an intake for the Z33 Maf. So that'll be another little fabrication project, but as of right now everything looks pretty good. I'm kind of glad I didn't go with top mount, because this is a lot easier to tie into the exhaust I already have, and it was the cheapest route, honestly, for a little more power, and it doesn't look obnoxious. So hopefully, like I said, this makes a decent amount of power. Like 300 is really all I really want out of this, because I want it to last, and maybe some cool noises, since I have an anti-surge housing now and it's a little bigger. So yeah. So I think my next video I will be finishing these bolts, tightening down everything, putting the exhaust back, and installing the injectors, and then wiring in my Z33 Maf. Alright. See you in a little bit. I didn't plug my mic in. So basically what I was saying is I didn't film shipping off my ECU to RS Enthralpy and getting the tune for it. Because with the turbo, the injectors, and the 300ZX Maf, obviously you have to tune. So that's what I did. Hopefully this audio works. It should work. I have everything plugged in now. Right now I'm going to put the ECU in, try to start the car, and if everything works out, then I can finish up the small little touches, which isn't much. It's just the vacuum line, and that's it. Just the vacuum line for the turbo. Alright. I also didn't record installing the injectors, but they're pretty easy. All you do is take off these caps here, and wiggle out the injectors and put the new ones in. These came with adapters, so I didn't have to wire anything, to just plug and play. And these are 850cc injectors, along with the GTX2860 turbo, modified wastegate, same downpipe that I have that's aftermarket. It's aftermarket downpipe and aftermarket headers. I modified this charge pipe to fit the Z32 Maf, and just a piece of intake pipe that I had with an Amazon elbow that actually worked out really well. So I'm going to try to start it up and see what happens. Alright, ECU is installed. It's just this 10mm right here, and it locks everything into place. There you go, our Enthralpy. And we're going to try to start it up. Alright, so it sounds really good. Idle is like on point. I don't see any leaks. I don't smell anything. I have a little exhaust leak that I can hear. But that sounds really, really, really good. Might do a light test drive, but just around the block to see how it feels. I think my camera died, but we're doing one more test drive. I filled the tires with air. It already feels a lot better. solid. Feels nice. All right, so my camera did end up dying, unfortunately, but I went for that little test drive. I'm happy with it. It doesn't feel like it's too much, and it also doesn't feel like a sloth anymore. I haven't been able to open it up completely, but that is something I will do once I plug up the blow-off valve back. I used my reference for the blow-off valve for the wastegate just so I wouldn't overboost on the test. And once I close up that breather system again, I'll take it on the highway and just stretch it out and see how she runs. But as for right now, it's good, no leaks. It's hitting boost target on the money, no hesitation at all, no check engine light, nothing. So I am happy with the GTX2860. The 850cc injectors. I have a 340 pump in the tank. I also have a spec stage 3 clutch, and I think that's it.